Bro, what got you into taxes? Like, where were you like after your mission to? Because I remember you sending me a message, like, "Let me do your taxes." I was like, "You a CPA? You don't need to be a fucking
Yeah, I
CPA."
remember that
I
conversation.
was like,
And
"What?"
look where we are. Now you're asking me for advice. Just swallow it. No, jokes. I'm more than happy to help whoever needs help, right? And answer questions. But I kind of got like tripped and pushed into it. So like I mentioned, when I started out in college, I thought I wanted to go like the medical route.
Yeah.
After I took my first biology class and barely scraped by with like a D, I was like, that's not happening again. Like the bare minimum to pass without having to take another science class.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't like it. So my mind shifted to business. I have easy conversations with people. I feel like I'm somewhat, easy to get along with, but I didn't want to just go get a business management degree because in Utah County, everyone and their dog gets a business management degree. So I wanted to do something that set me apart in the marketplace, in the job market. So I figured accounting would be that thing that separated me. While I was in the program at Utah Valley University for accounting, I had a buddy that I served a church mission with, whose uncle was the dean of the College of Personal Financial Planning. And he's like, hey, this is one class that's required for you anyways. Take it with me. My uncle's the professor of that class. And I thought, sweet, that's an easy A for me. And I got in that class and fell in love with it. And the professor talked me into double majoring. So I studied accounting and personal financial planning.
Okay.
Because I've always kind of liked money. My dad on the side has always done kind of some financial advising, and I've always liked money. So that's how I got involved into kind of the accounting and personal financial planning courses. And then while I was in school, I was working property management.
Okay.
And my now father-in-law was like, hey, my accountant needs some, he's looking to hire, and he was just paying more than what I was making at the time.
Mhm.
But I knew that I needed some experience, and I figured that was a good kind of entryway into the profession. So I went and worked for him, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love, like, filing taxes is probably one of the most boring things like out there, to be honest with you. That is my least favorite part of the job. But the part of like meeting with clients, what really did it for me was one day I had a husband and a spouse walk in. I could tell she was visibly distraught, like to the point of crying before she'd even walked in. They were new clients. They were really just shopping for accountants because they'd walked into a meeting and their old accountant had said they owed like $40,000. I mean, these are small business owners. They're in construction, and I see it day in and day out, but they just the account was just like, it is what it is. Like, you can't do anything more about it. And I sat down with them. At the time, I was kind of in a junior advisor position. I still had to pass a lot of stuff up to the senior advisor to get filed and whatnot, but they sat down and I started to ask just simple questions that we do with all of our clients. Well, are you writing X off? Are you writing Y? And in a matter of 30 minutes, we'd come up with enough deductions to save them $15,000 in taxes. And I mean, I was just getting started, and she just started to cry. Like, she almost like jumped across the table, gave me a hug. And in that moment, I was like, I want to do that for the rest of my life. Like, I felt so good that I was helping someone else. And literally that meeting kept their business in business.
Oh yeah.
Because had they had to pay that tax, they wouldn't have been able to. They would have, they would have lost their business. And so I was like, if I can do that, like, why, that makes me happy, they're happy, why wouldn't I want to continue to do that? So that's kind of, I got tripped and pushed into taxes, but I definitely had enough experiences to know that taxes are actually they're actually really easy once you understand them.
Mm-hmm.
The hard part is most people don't understand them.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what, I never thought I'd be, I don't know. Was I nerdy in high school? Was I
no, I mean, you're just a guy.
I never thought
right?
I'd be like a pocket protector, pencil pushing kind of accountant, but I love it.
I don't know. Or is my accountant like a pocket protector? I've never met him, but he sounds like it.
Most accountants are, though.
I've never met him, but he sounds like it. I mean, but that's how they should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that way they're serious with
definitely.
your money.
So that's kind of where, that's kind of how I actually.
Do you think your degree even helped you?
Not in what I'm doing, no. If I'm going to be honest with, my accounting degree was great, but the thing, and this is because I'm not a CPA. And I will never profess to be one. And the reason why I am not and probably won't ever be a CPA is because in my undergrad, it's 152 credit hours to graduate. And you want to know how many credit hours actually talked about taxes?
Like none of them.
3. One class actually taught me about taxes. And it was nothing to do with strategies. It was all about formulas and how taxes are calculated.
How'd you learn then?
So I learned a lot in my personal financial planning courses, like as far as like planning goes. But even in my personal financial planning courses, they never once would have talked about a cost segregation analysis. They never once talked about an Augusta rule. They never once talked like a 1035 exchange. They never once talked about a 1031. So I think there are certain professions that are always going to require a degree.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lawyer, a doctor, an accountant. But my degree did not get me to where I'm at today. I'm a part of some pretty high level accounting groups that, my continuing education, the books I read, the podcasts I listen to, my own studies, keeping up on, I'm kind of fortunate. I'm 26, and as an accountant in my industry, I have already gone through 3 of the most major tax reforms that have ever existed in our nation's history.
Oh, okay.
And I've had to maneuver those: the CARES Act, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2018, the infrastructure bill. Like, I've had to maneuver all of these different things that have come up. So I've kind of been forced to
Really learn.
yeah, to dive deep into the books, to become studious, to learn. Because the other thing is if I'm not, the other guy across the street is working harder than I am.
Yeah.
And I like, me personally, I'm competitive. I can't live with that. I've got to outwork the other person. So I don't know. That's just,
I love it, bro.
yeah.
Jake, you got any questions on taxes, bro?
Jake,
No.
Jake doesn't.
Jake's a tax wizard, accordingly.
Does he? Does Jake? Do you do your own taxes? Oh,
No, he just got a CPA.
okay, good.
He just got a CPA.
I was worried for you.
All right. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah.
Where can they follow you?
Yeah. So they can follow me on Instagram